Hi, I'm Sarah Herzig, and I'm a member of Beaver River FFA. I did the People in Agriculture poster. In the first category, leadership, we have a winery owner. The winery owner is looking at his grapes to check for any bugs that may be harming them, to see how dry they are, and to see how ripe they are so he knows when his harvest time is. The next category is conservational scientist. I chose a botanist. This botanist is examining some ferns. He is checking for any bugs that may be living on them and to see how sustainable the environment around them is. In the agribusiness category, I chose a food scientist. The food scientist is examining some apples to make sure they don't have anything living on them that's not supposed to be before they go to the store so there's not a disease outbreak. The food scientist fits in the agribusiness category because she is working for a business or corporation. In the plant science category, I have a crop farmer. The crop farmer is examining some corn. He is checking his kernel count on the corn to see how dry his corn is and to see when he thinks his harvest time is going to be so he can have people ready to work for him. In the mechanical science category, I have a machine operator. This is the operator of an almond machine. This almond machine separates the leaves and the dirt from the almonds. In the animal science category, I chose a beekeeper. The beekeeper is getting the honey from his beehives. He is wearing protective clothes to make sure he is safe and does not get stung. I wrote my essay on beekeeping. In the United States in 2014, the value of all honey production reached $385 million. A beekeeper is a very unique job, and a job that is not often thought of. Beekeeping is a great job to have. In this job, you do way more than just collect honey from your bees. You can make things from the wax they produce, like soap, candles, chapstick, and so much more. The salary on average for this job, according to environmentalscience.org, is about $44,747. To do this job, you only have to have a high school diploma, but a college degree in entomology or biology could be beneficial. There are many different options for employment if you're looking into becoming a beekeeper. Some of those are working for a large corporation, such as the Savannah Bee Company, or you could be self-employed. Around my area, there are different families that have their own honeybee farms and sell their honey at local markets, like Knowles' Country Store or Goods Country Market. Or you could work for a small private company. Most of the time, as a beekeeper, you'll be working outside with the bees. But depending on the company you work for, or if you're self-employed, you may take on other tasks, like making things from the wax the bees produce or packaging honey. I use resources to find some advantages and disadvantages about beekeeping, but I form my own opinion after looking at the resources. I also learn things by watching Apple How Does It Grow by True Food TV to learn different ways bees and beekeepers help get food into our stores. There are many different advantages and disadvantages to being a beekeeper. There are definitely some disadvantages to being a beekeeper, one being the possibility of getting stung. For some, this may not be a big deal, but for others, getting stung could lead to a serious allergic reaction or even worse, death. Another disadvantage of the job is the startup cost is very expensive. To just buy one hive for your bees to live in, it could cost as much as $150. Your clothing and protective gear could cost $160, and a single package of bees can cost $125 to $150. The startup total, including one hive and one pack of bees, depending on where you buy them from, as well as protective equipment, is $435 plus. You'll also need to know how to keep your bees healthy because they can contract diseases, pesticides, and parasites, which can harm a whole hive of bees. An advantage is you can make good profit. Beekeepers don't just make money by selling honey and other products they can make from the wax their bees produce. They can rent their bees out to an orchard so their bees can pollinate the orchard. Another advantage is you get to use your creativity skills and make things like creams, chapsticks, and lotions. One more reason why a beekeeper is a great job to consider is your gardens and orchards can look great. Your bees will pollinate them for you, and then you'll have the best flower garden in town. The outlook for beekeeping is good because there's a strong demand for pollination services. Pollination services are needed because orchards need to be pollinated so we have food to sell. It is especially important that bees pollinate orchards in the summer months so we can have food stored up for the winter months when food does not grow very well. Beekeeping is a great career to consider. If you're interested in this career as well as another career, you can have a small beekeeping business on the side. Thank you for your time.